Okay, make sure your file is saved, and let's continue on. Let's look at our example again. Next, we're going to add this planet here at the bottom. Let's see, where are we here? Okay, there we are. So go into Finder or Windows Explorer or Mac Finder, and you're going to choose this image, 5planetTexture.jpg. Right click, open with Photoshop. We're going to do this one a little bit differently than the others. We're not going to paste the entire image into this. Okay, so I'm going to use this upper textured like brown and white area. Go over to the toolbar, and there's the marquee selection tool. It'll probably default to the rectangular marquee selection tool. Hit the drop down menu and choose elliptical marquee tool. With the elliptical marquee tool enabled way out here outside your image, click, hold, and drag and make a nice big elliptical selection. And all we're going for is to get this like a nice gentle curve on our selection. Okay, you don't have to be really picky. I would stick with the in this gray, or the white and brown area. So when you get the marching ants, you got a nice gentle curve with elliptical selection. Do a Command C as in cat to copy it. Now we're done with that image. We can close it. In our file, make sure you're on the top layer, plasma text layer, because we're going to paste it on top. So do Command V, Victor, and there's our planet came in. The Move tool is the very top tool on the left on the toolbar, or you can just hit the letter V, Victor, on the keyboard to activate the Move tool. So activate the Move tool and like get it in position. And let's get something interesting here. So I'm going to do a Command T so I can move this guy around. And you may have noticed when I hit Command T and I get the bounding box, if I hover over one of the handles, I get the arrows which I can distort this image. If I'm just outside the handles, I get these little curly arrows, so I can click, hold, and drag and move this around a little bit. So I don't want this to be too large, and I don't want the curve to be too severe. So I'm going to click, hold, and drag and pull this out, just so I can get like this nice gentle, and it's not going to, doesn't have to be exact, but I'm going to get something like that. Okay, so let's go over to our layer and call it planet, and let's see what else I want to do with this. Okay, that looks like really bright. So let's come over here to the layers palette, click, hold, and drag planet into the new layer icon, and it'll make a copy, planet copy. Let's change the blending mode to multiply. Planet copy is selected, hit the drop down menu and choose multiply, and that'll darken the planet. And by the way, I could, like, if I were to copy planet copy again on multiply, it gets even darker if that's what you want to do, but I'm just throwing that out there. Now I want to add like a more interesting texture on top of this, and I might adjust some other stuff, but let's take do one step at a time here. Go into Windows Explorer or Mac Finder and choose this 5B planetlights.jpg. Right click, open with Photoshop. Do a Command A. Let's do it this way. Yeah, do a Command A, then do a Command T. Rotate this by coming near one of the handles. Hold down the Shift key, click, hold, and drag, and rotate it all the way around. Because what I want to use is these nice lights on the bottom. I'm going to rotate it again, I think. Let me see here if this is what I want. No, let me go this way. Okay, so get your image like that. Okay, hit the return key, to accept the changes. Now do a Command C. Let's go to our file, and we could have like rotated it in this file, but I just didn't. Command V Victor, it'll paste this thing. And let's see, I think what I want to do, we'll move this around and we'll cut the extraneous parts off. But come over to the Layers palette, and first let's call this Lights. Hit the drop down menu and change the blending mode, I believe, to Screen is what I want to do here, which is already looking kind of cool. Use the Move tool, and I'm going to move the lights down so they're over top of my planet. And this just, all I'm doing is just giving some nice texture to this planet. I'm going to change some things, you'll see in a second here. Do a Command T, and just kind of, again, it's not an exact science, just get some of this lights texture to overlay, and you can even distort it a little bit over on your planet. Okay, so let me go back to normal mode just so you can see what's happening. So we got that, right? That's in normal mode. This is Screen. I want to delete all of this junk here that's not covering the planet. So this is a little bit weird, but just follow along with me. Go to your Layers palette, choose Planet Copy, come over here to your toolbar, and 4 icons down is the Magic Wand tool. Choose Magic Wand tool. So make sure Planet Copy layer is enabled. Hover anywhere in the top of your painting, your canvas, with the Magic Wand tool and click. So what you should get is a marching ants that's covering everything except the planet. Okay, so when you see those marching ants covering everything except the planet, go up to the lights layer. So you with me? We got the lights layer selected, we got marching ants on the upper part off of the planet. Hit the delete key, and that deletes all the lights. The lights still look stupid. I mean, it's not really working yet, so we got to make some adjustments to the lights. Do a Command D, and we're going to change the hue and saturation of the lights. So we're going to add an adjustment layer with the lights layer selected. Click on the icon for new adjustment layer and choose hue saturation. We only want to adjust this layer only. Okay, so if I started right now to adjust the hue saturation, I would affect every layer, which I don't want to do. Hue saturation layer is selected. Hit this little icon here. This will, if I see this like 90-degree arrow, that means this hue saturation layer will only affect this layer, which is what I want. This layer, lights layer, is pretty much black and white, so we have to colorize it. When we colorize it, if we grab the saturation slider and slide it all the way to the right, you can see like some dramatic changes in your lights there. That's not quite what I want. I'm gonna change the hue. Maybe if I pull the hue all the way over, there. Okay, now we're getting like this purple going on here. And let me crank down my saturation a little bit here. All I'm doing is adding some interesting texture to this to make it look like more alien. Okay, and we're gonna do something to soften this curve later on in the next video. Okay, so just to recap, here's my lights layer, which I cropped. I got a hue saturation layer. This icon is enabled on the hue saturation layer, and this is where I have my sliders set for hue saturation. So I get kind of like this purpley effect on top of my planet. And then we'll blend all this stuff in as we go on. So save your file, and I'll see you in the next video.